Weston Lopez. I play the rhythm and lead guitars for them.
Howard Pereira, guitars, backup vocals. I make tea. Yeah.
Spencer Pereira, Howard's younger brother. Lead vocals, can't play any instruments.
Clayton Gonsalves, drums, a bit of farting bass, and try to sing, I think.
Oh, and this is Vishal. He's not here right now, so this is his moniker. My name is Vishal. I love to make love to aunties. I play the bass and sometimes I baja too. And together we are Depth.
So, what genre do you guys fall in?
Yeah, good question. I think we're basically hard rock, although we have influences from all over the place. I mean, some guys are, my bass guitar is into jazz, and this guy's into DT, but we pretty much, our music is pretty much straight up rock. So we stick to that. People say we're progressive because we have guitars and bass solos and all, but I don't know. We just want to be a band, you know. So hard rock band, yeah, I guess that's what we are.
Your influences on music from different bands that inspire you as a group.
Anybody want to take
Yeah, I think it's a collection. It might be Hindi as well. Some.
Yeah,
I don't know, but
definitely. Puppy Larry, you know,
Puppy Larry,
the
yeah.
dressing sense. I mean, check out that, and the hair definitely comes from over there. And I remember when I just finished school, I was really influenced by Samantha Fox because like, dude, I want to do music, man. And I was really a kid then. And then the regulars, like Sex Pistols, GNR, Metallica, Randy Travis.
What about the others?
Dominic Savage.
Oh yeah, there are 3-4 of us who are choir boys. So we learned a lot of hymns, which is why we sing a lot. We have a lot of voices going around.
And they relate my hairstyle to Dominic Savage.
What about your lyrical influences?
Lyrical influences. Well, most of our songs are just songs about, we have songs about drinking, about women, about riding fast cars. So it's pretty much the normal stuff that a band writes about. We're not really deep when it comes to lyrics, so unfortunately. But yeah, most of the time they do rhyme, so I think that's good. And we sing, so we're a band which sings normally. So if you get a performance, you probably hear what the lyrics are about.
So it's pretty much like the hard rock, sex, drugs, rock and roll kind of thing.
Yeah, living the dream. There's a sex which happens occasionally. Drugs is a no-no.
Okay.
So, and I'm not just saying that because of the documentary. We don't do drugs. Yeah, and we rock. And we fall down sometimes after drinking. So
I drink a lot.
yeah, much drink.
That's why it's much drink.
Must drink.
What about political issues? Do you guys don't take that up? Political issues or issues like women's liberation, child feticide, etc.
Yeah. I feel strongly about politics. It just doesn't mix in the kind of music that we are, the kind of band that we are actually. I mean, I tell women, get rid of your bra all the time because, women's liberation and all, since you mentioned it. Liberate them. But as a band, we don't really have a message to send out. We have one song which is, about masses classes because we are pissed off at that, the way it works. The rich get rich and the poor just remain where they are. Otherwise, beyond that, we don't really, we don't want to talk about what's happening in Orissa. Yeah.
What about what about Indian classical? What about Western classical? The stuff that like inspire you?
Yeah, but I mean, it does inspire, but there's nothing like we could implement that thing into the kind of music that we portray. So it does as a listener, I mean, but then you just can't.
I hate Indian classical. I don't get it. That's I just don't get it. I have respect for them because I can see what they can do. But yeah, it's not something we can infuse with our music. So we really don't have an opinion on it. I don't want to say it's bad. It's bad. It's just something that I don't like listening to. Western classical is like fuck man. It's insane, right? Can
Actually-
you actually listen to Western classical and go like, wow, that was awesome? I can't do it.
Actually, if talking about Indian classical, if it's fused with a bit of jazz, like you have guys like Carl Peters and Louis Banks and all, they do it a lot. It's awesome. But at the end of the day, it's just a handful of people who listen to that form of music. So not many people can relate to it.
There are actually a dearth of bands. Actually, I mean, you leave aside artists like Louis Banks and Carl Peters and all. There are actual bands. I mean, not many from Bombay right now, but if you look at what's that band? Yeah?
Rainbow Bridge.
No, those three kids, man. Those three kids, yeah.
Rosemary.
Rosemary. If you look at what Rosemary is doing right now, it's very interesting because they hit you with a lot of grunge first, and then suddenly you hear this fucking kick-ass tabla crap which happens. It's really nice, and I really like that part. And there are bands like Advaita in Delhi, and I like the stuff which Lounge Piranha is doing. And yeah, because you have a lot of not only Indian classical, but they are just using elements from everywhere, just out of the bag. So the scene right now has become a little more exciting, other than just going and watching covers, which is right now a thing of the past, I believe. I don't really see bands getting on stage wanting to play a Metallica, saying we are Depth and this song is by Metallica. That doesn't happen much anymore. But you see bands coming up with brilliant crap. Man. I mean, we're not one of them because we just come up with your regular staple blues. It's all our own music from the soul and the heart. But yeah, I like the scene, and I'm very interested to see where it's going to be in the next year or so.
What,
Which are the bands from the Indian scene that you guys like?
I like a lot of bands. You guys want to go first?
Yeah.
No, all of
Dream
you
Out
guys
Loud.
can go ahead. It's
Oh, okay.
In fact, going back there, it starts with Indiscreet.
Yeah,
They're
Industry.
the
I'm a
ones
big
who
fan of
actually
Industry.
revolutionized rock and roll in India, and they're the ones who promoted. They set the stage for the bands to come up and go through the same
Yeah,
struggle.
and they were at a level at that time where fucking bands are still struggling to reach right now. They're fucking damn professional. The kind of singing and the harmonies that they had going along with the music was just fucking mind blowing, man. At that time, our mentality was like, fuck, I want to have a party. I came here to listen to music that I know and I'm familiar with. So that's why they got a raw deal. But if they were around right now, I pretty much say that they were the best. They would be the best band, kick everyone's asses. Besides that, I love Dream Out Loud. I listen to a lot of Indian bands. So the Dream Out Loud is one of my heroes basically because of Chandresh and Suraj. I should listen to a lot of Chakravyuh also a long time back. We respect what PDV has done for the scene. I can see the massive fan following that these guys have. Not into that kind of music anyway, but just to see that people running around as soon as they start, it's fucking insane.
any other band?
Yeah. No, there are a lot of bands like
Zero.
Zero is one of
Rainbow
our
Bridge.
favorite bands. Rainbow Bridge is a kick-ass band from Calcutta. Yeah, Calcutta.
Yeah.
We love Zero. They're pretty much a band like us. I love Junkyard Groove also because they're pretty much a pop
Junkyard
rockish kind of
awesome
band.
band.
They'll sing a song which is about falling down drunk or about a girl, which will get stuck in your head, man. That's something you take away from a concert. I believe if you go to a concert and if something gets stuck in your head and you take that away, that adds value. That shows that you just didn't play and give people a good time over there. People went home and thought about
No,
it.
what happens in India is people come mainly for gigs. You see the kind of response they give you is for playing covers. So at the end of the day, if you're playing one of your original and people remember your song, then that's success. You might not sell copies. People might still go in for freebies and free albums. But then at the end of the day, they know your song. So
what about lots of bands they mix up religion with music. What do you think about that?
So
Nothing
this is
much,
an individual question.
yeah, really. I don't think so.
I don't think anybody's religious in this band at least. We're not really religious, and in the sense that we have those core religious values that we protect. I know everyone's spiritual; they believe in being a good person. So, and to tell you the truth, when it comes to our Indian band scene, I really don't. We don't have the access to what they're really talking about. You don't get access to. I mean, you go to a show, you really don't get the whole idea of the song, right? And then it's hard to come across band's music, get the lyrics, find out what's talking about. You have an album release, you have 4 5 songs, so you know what the band is about. What are they talking about? Then you base an opinion on that. So yeah, I don't know about the religion thing. We don't know. We just we don't bring religion into a picture at all. Although we're a band full of Catholics, I think.
Yeah.
shit, yeah, man.
No wonder we drink so much. Don't put that in.
Yeah. Yeah, that's one thing we protect. Drinking.
So, what do you think about women or the lack of women in the scene, whichever?
The lack of women.
It's
As
getting much
artists,
better,
as
man.
No,
artists.
it's in.
As
I've
artists,
seen.
okay.
Yeah, I've seen quite a few now, and I've seen a girl playing the bass guitar of late for one of the
One of the
competitions. they've
competitions,
been-
yeah.
I've seen two women on drums, and they're pretty good. So I don't know.
Yeah, there are far and few between. I mean, there was a band called No Idea. I know they're still around, but yeah, Nandita, she's like brilliant. Man. I mean, I have some of her music at home. And
Shaira.
Shire, yeah, fuck, I love her. I love Monica, man. She's like fucking brilliant. Yeah, I can just stand over there and watch her singing for fucking hours, man. Like any other band be playing, but if she's singing over there, I'll stand. I will stand. But yeah, man, we need more women. I don't know if the scene is such that we're keeping them out. I don't think so. But yeah, it should happen, man.
Actually, what's happening I've noticed in Bombay, there are not many women getting into the scene, but there are a lot of women in Bangalore. Usually, you see a lot of girls taking this up in Bangalore. In fact, I remember there was some band down Shillong, I guess, a all women band.
There was an all-women band Bombay also called Flexers, and they changed the name to Soul. And I didn't really see them anywhere, but I was friends with them on Orkut, I think. Yeah, on Orkut. So yeah, so that they're out there. The band itself was they were all youngsters, just beginning. So there are people who want to play, who probably want to belong, be part of the scene. But you know how it is, right? Everyone's got work, everyone's got jobs. Women, they have a 10 more hassles because they're taking care of us basically all the time. So I don't know how long it'll take before you see a really prominent woman on stage. But it could happen. I hope it happens. Get some more women to gigs also. Like.
And
Just changing the angle.
next question.
Go ahead, ask the question.
So, what is the future plan with the band?
Future plan, we're currently right now in talks with a record label who's shown interest in us. They basically want. I'll do that again. We're currently in talks with a record label right now, so the immediate future, probably in the next couple of weeks or so, we're looking forward to sign. I know record labels is almost a thing of the past, but yeah, these guys have shown interest in us. They want to record our songs, and our future plans, right? Immediately in the next 2 months, we want an album out. It's going to be free because as a band, we think music should be free because I get all my music for free anyway. So yeah, that's the immediate thing. Right now, we're not doing a lot of gigs. We're not really playing a lot of stuff. We're just working on our own stuff, and we're going to start recording from next month. It'll be kick-ass.
What do you think about the pub culture boom that has happened recently?
Great. I think it's fucking awesome, man. And we're really happy that we're still around, while this thing is happening because if you go back, this kind of a boom happened probably around like some 50 years in the US. We've been talking about the same thing, where suddenly, there were just a lot of pubs which were entertaining live bands. And even though right now we're still at a scene where, people in those restaurants and in pubs are not really there for a particular band. Not all of them anyway. So you still get people eating and all. But it's going to change. The same thing which happened over there is going to happen over here. We're going to get, more of these pubs opening up, more demand for live musicians again. And, that's what's going to flourish the scene. It's like, rain, which our barren land in India has really needed for a long time. So we think it's awesome. We think it's a good thing. I don't really think right now bands playing in pubs are getting due attention. Right now that focus is not correct. What's happening inside the pub, but right now you have pubs. You never know who walks into a pub basically. It could be some record label guy. It could be somebody who's really influenced by music, loves your music, and takes you and boom, next day you could be anywhere. That's basically how it happened, abroad.
So, according to you, what is the biggest problem that is plaguing the scene right now in Bombay?
In Bombay.
Yeah.
Anybody?
I feel it's openness. The thing is, people are more stuck with the usual, pub kind of music. The more Hindi, there's a lot of Hindi happening everywhere. So, I mean, they're more into electronic kind of, the DJ kind of thing. Which
Yeah,
is why
metal is a
there's
problem in
yeah,
pubs,
which is a problem. People do not respond to distortion somehow. So yeah, that's it. Things are changing slowly. If you see, there are a lot of college kids. I see everyone with some, either it's a Metallica or a System of a Down or it's Linkin Park something. So things are slowly changing. And what happens is they expect you to be in that jam, play that kind of stuff. What happens is for bands who give into it, playing covers, it's fine. How long are you going to play covers? At some point, you want to come up with your own thing. So if people like you for playing covers, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, it shouldn't mean anything.
Yeah, it shouldn't mean
Because you're not really playing your own music. I mean, it's kind of stupid. We were doing it also, and then we realized one day, that we go out there in the night and we get in front of people and we tell them, we are deaf, and this song is by Guns N' Roses. It's just absurd. That's one thing. But I think that's already on the way out. I don't really see a lot of bands doing covers. And even if they do it, they have a small take of it, something of their band which they've infused, with that with whoever that song is, and they've done their take on that song. So I don't think that is a problem. I think more of a problem is that right now this boom is also happening at a really weird stage where there's no market right now for bands. Even if I have a great guy who's interested in our music and he puts it out there, who's gonna buy it? Right now nobody's buying music. Everybody's getting it for free from the net, right? So you already have that one thing which is gone. That one thing where bands could actually work, they could make money, they could get people into the concerts. That's the only thing which is left. But you can't sell music, so that's one thing which has gone out the window. Two is I think in Bombay, since it's still a small scene, with a few bands popping up here and there. Bands which have a little longevity immediately get big headed. I don't know. As a musician who's somewhat in the scene, I know a lot of people from other bands also. It's really weird seeing the comments, backhanded comments which are passed about other bands and another genre or whatever. I find it silly. I don't like a particular band because of the music they play. Fine, that's it. I hate what happens like the band like the Works. The Works is a nice band. They have great musicians in it. They play a lot of music that which a lot of people don't like. But they're getting a lot of negativity,
Yeah,
which
the
is really
thing is,
undue.
the way I look at it is, if you don't like my band, don't come for my shows. As simple as that. I'm more satisfied if I have 10 fans who listen to my music than 100 guys coming there and
Yeah, for
clicking.
example, what happened
You
with
don't-
Rainbow Bridge?
Yeah.
What happened to
It's a
Rainbow
nice
Bridge?
band.
Rainbow Bridge is a kick-ass band. They were one of the best bands on that stage the other day at IROC, man. But fucking, they got bottles. Could you believe that? And I thought they were brilliant, man. They were really good. They were one of the few bands that he actually recorded with his, camera. While the other bands, like, all the bands were good, but they had a different, kind of,
It's
the sound was
mainly I like
different.
their music.
It wasn't heavy. It wasn't really metal, and
They're
so
fusing a lot of classical.
that's why they got
they're the
that's why they got the
classical
big bats that they got. So I think that maturity has not yet reached our audience yet. Hopefully it will, and that's when the scene will actually boom up. If you're gonna keep beating people down because they're not playing metal, I don't know. Anyway, metal in the world, if you look at the world also, it's still a small pocket.
Like
It's a pocket of
5%.
people that listen to metal, and we're talking about a scene which involves different genres and different styles. You have to embrace everything as a listener. And if you don't find, but don't treat us, don't treat these bands which are great musicians the way you do. That's the only thing. And I think once that's gone out of the picture, and people are more open, you'll see people going to concerts and enjoying the music and enjoying bands for who they are, not because of this band plays, heavy metal or this band plays Metallica. Or whatever. Once that goes, probably we'll see people asking and buying albums, which is not happening right now. A band puts out a CD and what sales do they get? Like a waste of money. It's like a bad investment. Which is why we've decided, our music is going to be free. So fucking even if you don't want it, like you'll take it because it's free, hopefully.
Yeah,
Take it, listen to
everybody
it,
should
at least
be
listen to it a
free.
couple of times, and maybe you like one song, fine, great. At least somebody will be listening to your music at home.
I don't think anything else is there.
Any message you want to give to your fans?
Stay in school.
Yeah, the fans should be switched off.
Yeah, but message to the fans: come to our shows, support a lot of Indian live music, get into the scene. Be someone. Connect with bands. There are bands online. There are bands in your neighborhood. Go make that connection. Talk to them because they need you as much as you need them. There's a small there's a give and take thing over there which is not yet happening. So if you're a fan of music, start doing it. You have great musicians in Bombay itself. You have great musicians in India. Start listening to more bands than the bands abroad. I want people to do that. Start listening to our bands over here.
tell us something about the Bollywood connections.
So,
The Bollywood connections that you guys have.
Bollywood connections.
What do you think?
I don't have Bollywood connections.
Bollywood connections, as in, yeah,
See, whatever recordings that you have done, or any kind of differences that you see. What's the huge difference that happens during Bollywood recordings and the rock
There's not
recordings
much
that you guys have?
Oh, yeah, you can answer that.
I mean, yeah, there's not much of difference as in, but then yeah, it's the money out in the Bollywood industry, which we normally don't have with the band scene.
Mhm.
So yeah, I do a lot of Bollywood recordings and I play for different music directors as a freelance guitarist, basically as a seating member. Work with their compositions and
As sex. With the extras and
get friends with the person with the casting couch and stuff. Nothing like that.
all. This is the couch. Come sit on the couch, baby.
What you see is these all the movies coming up now. These are big budget movies. Like the music section itself in the movie has a budget of like 10 crores, 12 crores. So it's much easier for them. They can just hire anyone to play. And what
All
you
they
see
need
out
is,
there
like,
as well. There's all these. There are a lot of struggling guys who play for them for peanuts. And it's the guy who's mainly directing it who takes all the credit.
As in
See,
the
you
music
won't even
director,
see a name of a guitar player appearing.
guitar player or the drummer probably, and basically everything is programmed and stuff like that. Very rarely you would find a music director treat them as I don't name people like that, but then yeah, they use a lot of acoustic drums and something which is proper talent.
Rock on!
Yeah. So I think yeah, after Rock On there should be a change and a twist in the Bollywood scene.
Do you see, Indian rock albums or the rock bands in India getting that good, quality of recording as these Bollywood get?
Of late, yeah.
Off late, yeah, I mean,
Yeah, you've seen some difference, man. Mindsnay's album
Mind
is like fucking brilliant. Scepter's album, great production. Dream Out Loud, they did it over here, and most of them, most of the bands I know if all bands do it, but a lot of bands, we also had plans to do this only. What we do is record at home, your guitar box and all, and acoustic drums is something which you need. Otherwise, it just lacks. You realize that the recording it basically fails because of the drums. So
you need a
that's
proper
something that you need.
a proper place to dub the acoustic thing so that you get that proper punch. So when you go into your mastering, mixing stuff, you have that basic prompt signal. So that is one thing. So
Yeah, you're getting it. You're getting it with DSR is doing a good job because I've seen the vast difference between the first albums that they put out, and what's coming out right now. It's a pretty big difference. So the scene is improving everywhere, and especially in the recording. That's a really good point because the quality of what music we're getting right now to listen to is amazing. So it's I'll say it's amazing, but it's a lot better than it used to be. But it can go a long long way.
And what do you guys think about endorsements and other kind of deals that are happening around in the current scene? Many guitarists are getting good endorsements deals. So what do you guys think about that?
I think it's a great thing. I think people mistake the
Even the drummers,
yeah.
Mapex kids.
Mapex.
It doesn't happen that much. Yeah, but I don't know. I think it's definitely a good thing because a lot of bands can't really afford the kind of equipment that they really dream of. I've wanted a Gibson Classic for donkey's years. I've been telling a lot of people for it. Hopefully something might happen soon. But the endorsement will only add to the value, the sound that you basically hear that band. So one, that's a good thing. Two, what I don't like about what's happening in our scene is that when bands are getting endorsed, people are dissing them for that, saying that oh, this band, I know the sellout thing. People are not realizing that selling out and cashing in are different things. It's something that a lot of bands do abroad, and something that should happen over here also. And there's besides that, I wouldn't mind listening to a band who's being sponsored by I don't know, let's say any brand. Some brand is sponsoring this band to wear their T-shirts. The band is getting money. The band is getting money to do something with that money creatively. And if that band wears a T-shirt and gets on stage, he's gonna get fucked. A lot of bands probably are passing on deals like that. So maybe that can change too. Because right now, if you look now, I mean, tell me if I'm wrong. This doesn't really happen abroad. If I wear a T-shirt, I won't wear a Gibson T-shirt. If I'm in Metallica, I will not wear a Gibson T-shirt, right? Maybe once in a few bands do it. But ad funded ideas like this is what is going to smoothen the chains over here in India to make this industry oil itself. Because we don't have money. There is no money. There are no record labels anymore. Internationally, record labels are they're gone. Right? Everyone's doing it in their houses right now. The DIY method is big. Okay. And you have independent, you have indie groups coming up every day. Indie companies coming up every day. So record labels are not going to pump money into your music. You're not going to get money from your parents. You cannot work. You can't work a job. And also do your music and buy the stuff that you can. You can't sell drugs. To make money. How do you get money? And I think this ad funded thing is something that we can work here. And we need to just open our minds and let people who are wearing a Gibson T-shirt just be the musicians and not say, "Oh, you took money from Gibson." You notice I said Gibson a lot, so if I can get a clip of that, I'll give it to the Gibson guys.
Thanks a lot for the interview.
You want to ask some questions, eh?
Yeah, I just wanted to know if you do happen to. I know that you guys actually play what you feel right now. The feeling is heavy metal, thrash metal. I don't know. I'm sorry that I haven't heard your songs. But if you do get a chance to actually evolve into something different, like some sort of a fusion, for example, and pick up a sitar and distort it, would you do it?
No, I don't think that would work. It basically wouldn't work because we write songs on a certain pattern. When we write a song, we start with a melody and then we get into a different group. And elements like this have never really entered that process. I don't think it will work as a band. It doesn't sound like depth anymore if it's if you start with fusion. If I get a sitar just for the sake of a sitar, and I want to have my music labeled as fusion, I want to reach a larger audience. So I don't think that's something we'll do. We probably won't evolve unless everybody really feels strongly about it and think that this is the way we want to go because we feel passionately as musicians about it. But right now, I think we're all passionate about the kind of music that we are doing. We love it. And we really don't think that another influence would come in and suit our sound as a band. As I said earlier, I love what bands are doing right now. But I hate it when it's, just for the sake of fusion or just for the sake of, okay, I'm an Indian, I'm from India, so I need
just for
Indian
trying to
music.
sound
I hate
different.
that. It sounds really absurd. But yeah.